Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 7. Damn, that's hot. Mahito is back. I can't believe I'm saying that. When JJK Modulo was announced as a Jujutsu Kaisen sequel, we all sat there and theorized about how this would be the perfect opportunity for Mahito to return as an antagonist. Did I actually believe what I was saying? Definitely not. Can I believe that it's actually happening? Still kind of no, because this is Gege and it could just happen and then never be talked about ever again, but I'm gonna assume it's happening. Oh my god, we got Yuji last chapter and we got Mahito this chapter. Okay, let's get into it, because why is Modulo actually good? I'm sorry, no, did anyone actually expect it to be peak? I don't know why I underestimated Gege. It's like, JJK Modulo is actually really good. I hope it gets extended, because this shit's dope. Chapter begins, the bald dude is beaten up, and Usami basically tracks him down because he ran away from the whole, Maru incident. Usami pulls up, but he's got hella aura in this hallway, and he goes, "Don't move." You probably couldn't hear me doing that. He goes, "Don't move," but he covers his mouth, and he's got snake eyes and fangs tattooed on his hand, which means that he has cursed speech. Is he Usami Inumaki? Maybe, I don't know. Again, a lot of people don't know that the Inumaki clan are actually outlaws in Jujutsu society, so I'd be interested to see how that kind of possibly plays into it. I'd be excited if we could explore that. The old dude gets packed up by Usami. Maru is still unconscious, basically gets taken by Cross to get medical treatment, but what Cross does is Cross takes the headband and the plaster that Maru was using and puts them on, and basically he's now going to pretend to be Maru to try and get more information. And I feel like maybe Yuka and Tsurugi, well, not Yuka, but Tsurugi is maybe kind of racist, because like Cross does just look different. He acts completely different. He speaks completely different. His markings are completely different, and Tsurugi doesn't seem to notice. So like, I don't know, bro. So Cross is trying to pretend to be Maru, and it seems that we kind of get some more idea about why he was angry at what Tsurugi said about being neighbors, and he was upset that Maru had obviously blabbed his mouth about neighbors or whatever, because that's something to do with their past. I suspect, a neighboring race or a neighboring planet, or just their actual neighbors, whatever, or what forced them away from their home and stole their lives from them, which is a very important theme in this chapter. Enough of that though, we'll get into that in a second. Let's talk about the thing. Tsurugi is asleep in a hospital bed. Tsurugi, the guy without cursed energy, but with Yuta's ring. He is asleep, and he dreams of Mahito drawn in Yuji Iwasaki's beautiful art style, and it's glorious. But he is the most Mahito has ever looked. Like, he looks so Mahito, he's Mahitoing all over, he's got me Mahitoing all over the place just thinking about it. He has a dream of Mahito, and Mahito's like upside down saying, "What's all this? I thought you were him," and the him is like in bold. I'll be real, I don't know what this means, which really excites me. I ain't got a clue what he's talking about. I'm completely lost. Him could probably mean Yuji, possibly, but like why he would be saying that to Tsurugi, I don't know. Could he mean Toji? He didn't know about Toji, so how could it be? It could mean Sukuna, and maybe he's talking about Maru and Cross. I don't know either. Maybe he's seeing the future. I ain't got a clue. I don't know why he said it, but I'm gonna assume it means Yuji. I don't know. When he says him and it's in bold, like when Mahito says him, I'm starting to fanboy a bit. Jesus. Mahito's back, and we saw Yuji get set up last chapter. Are Yuji and new Mahito gonna meet? I know someone in my comments last time when I made a theory about this was saying Mahito won't have his memories because curses are like, they're sort of reincarnated as well, so they won't keep their memories. But remember, Mahito, it's made very clear in the story that Mahito functions completely differently, alright? Like, he is the curse of humans, and he kind of guards that path of souls that they walk down, and he was there, at the end of JJK, still very much as he was in life. So, if Mahito maintains his persona, I think that's completely valid. It doesn't mean it happens for all curses, but it can happen for him, probably. I hope it does. But yeah, we just see, that's it. There's nothing else about it this chapter. Of course, we're just being edged by Gege, but Mahito is in the chapter, and we're setting it up, and Tsurugi seeing him, and Yuji is gonna come back, and it's all good. Oh, bro, this series is so good. I'm loving it. Tsurugi and Cross have a little conversation. I think Tsurugi and Yuka kind of get the idea that Cross and Maru have been forced away or like betrayed by their neighbors or whatever, Cross is kind of subtly implying by his actions. Tsurugi is like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Maru, for the things I said. I think I understand you a bit more now." And then the rest of the chapter is this really nice conversation between Yuka and Cross, or is meant to, kind of pretend to be Maru, but Yuka does figure out that it's Cross because she's not racist, unlike Tsurugi. Yeah, it's a really great conversation, but first, Tsurugi, Mino, and Yuka and Cross, I'm calling him Cross, go to a theme park. They go to like a fairground. Cross just kind of snacks on some popcorn. He's a bit bored. He's like, well, this is not part of the plan. Like, why are we doing this? Which is an interesting idea because I feel like he's discovering, fun, because I think his theme at the moment seems very much to be depression. At least a lot of the dialogue later suggests a lot of depression-related themes. Discovering just like a normal life, go out, have fun. They did it because Yuka found it fun. Simple as that, she just wanted to do it. Now, she wants to have fun because she got some bad news, unfortunately. After they help a lost kid at the park, which was a nice little moment, Yuka and, Cross have their little talk, which I'll get into in a second, but the unfortunate part about this chapter is that Yuka has a tumor in her head, and she's got half a year to live, which means knowing Gege, I would normally sit here and say, well, she's going to master a reverse curse technique like her grandfather, or Rika's going to heal it with her RCT, and once she gets the ring, she'll be able to master RCT like her grandfather, and she'll be able to, fix the tumor in her head, and it will be fine, and that's what she needs to work towards. Or like, she's going to make a binding vow with Mahito, and Mahito's going to fix her brain, which actually, that is Josh in Betweener's theory. I'll give him credit. And I like it a lot, to be fair. The idea of like Mahito comes back, but we're not going to kill him on sight because we have to make a binding vow in which Mahito like saves Yuka, like by transfiguring her so she doesn't have the tumor. And then like, even if Yuji pulls up to kill Mahito, which makes narrative sense because he said he would kill Mahito every time he comes back, so I think Yuji should be there. Even if he's old, he'll still pull up because he's the GOAT, and I think because of what he owes Yuta, like, he'll probably allow it or something like that. I don't know, but obviously Mahito's not going good. He'll get his own thing out of it, right? But that's just why he won't be shot down on sight. That's Josh in between his theory, but I like it. Either that will happen, or we're gonna go down the Gege route where we do the story and then Yuka just dies in the end, which would be tragic. But that's the kind of bombshell this chapter is. We get Mahito and then we get cancer reveal. But the conversation between these two is really interesting because Yuka figures out it's Cross and she just tells him, look, I know you're Cross, all right? Get it? I know you're Cross, and he's Cross. No? Okay. It's a great conversation though. Cross is basically talking about how there's like this cycle of destiny where people are stolen from, and then those people tend to go on to steal right back as a response. And it's again kind of like the cycle of curses, right? But they're calling it the Wheel of Destiny. They talk a lot about wheels and breaking wheels together, which is more Maharagaten Shadows foreshadowing for Yuka, I'm just saying. So they have this nice conversation, and Cross is, again, seeming like he has this understanding of depression. He very much is of the opinion, and I don't agree with his actions at all, but I can see where he's coming from more in this chapter. Because he was unfortunate enough, he was just unlucky, and these people, like, him and his people got forced out of their home, and he's very angry at the world and everything, and he knows that, like, they come here and they're just going to be expected to suffer through life, not interfering with humans and not like getting in their way, and just they have to accept it, which he hates. So he's like, well, they're not going to have it, so we should just take it right back by force. Screw the cycle. I don't care about break it. Like, I'm just doing this for my life. I'm taking it back for me, which I get where he's coming from out of anger, but it's not the right approach. And Yuka wants to be able to change that, which is why he's on the side of conflict, right? He just wants to steal it back and get his life back. And he's basically saying once Yuka find out she's dying, he's like, you won't feel any more joy. You'll just lose your sense of purpose. You'll lose, like, just because you think, oh, well, it's all going to end in death anyway, which is a very depression, driven theme, is effectively what depression is in a lot of ways. I really hope Cross is able to overcome this by the end of the series. But the conversation is really wholesome. It's really great. And I'm very interested to see how Mahito comes into play here. And I'm very interested to see what Cross and Maru's dynamic and character arcs will be going through. But yeah, the conversation is basically just a long-winded version of, oh, they stole from me, I'm going to steal from you, and then we're going to have that cycle. And Yuka's like, nah, we're going to break it. Very Jujutsu Kaisen. Anyway, that is the chapter. So I'm going to go make a theory video on the main channel, but make sure to like and subscribe to stay tuned with these, weekly reviews. And I will see you guys in a bit. Peace.